Hi, I want to talk to you today a little bit about bottom-up and top-down processes because this is a topic that a lot of people feel is more difficult in cognitive psychology. So I want to explain to you exactly what we mean by top-down and bottom-up processing. And we bring these terms in perception, in the perception unit, but we use them all throughout cognition. So it's important to really have a grasp on what they mean and what they are. So a bottom-up process is sometimes also called data-driven. And that means that you construct your percept, which is another word for your perception of something, based only on the available data that you have in front of you. So a good example would be if you're ever in the kitchen gadget section of Bed Bath & Beyond, there are all of these, you know, odd things that you have no idea what their function is. And like maybe if you've ever seen an avocado slicer and it hasn't been labeled an avocado slicer, you might kind of guess that it's a kitchen gadget based on how it looks, and that's a little bit of top-down processing. But then you have no idea what it is, and you kind of have to guess what it is based on just based on the available data, just based on how it looks. So that's bottom-up processing. You're just using the data in front of you, and you're not bringing your expectations into it. And I'm going to put a video clip under this one um, uh, from YouTube for you to watch. It's a clip from a movie called The Gods Must Be Crazy. And in this movie, this guy's flying in this airplane over this African tribe where they live, and he throws a glass Coke bottle out of the window. And this guy sees this from the tribe, sees this Coke bottle land, and he has no idea what it is, and he brings it back to his tribe, and they try to make sense of what it is. And it's really kind of a neat clip. Um, so that's bottom-up processing. Now, top-down processing. And examples of bottom-up theories would be template theory and feature analysis. Feature analysis is a great example, including like the pandemonium model or recognition by components, like Biederman's model where he used geons. You use geons to build your perception of something. Now, top-down processing is called schema-driven. Schema, S-C-H-E-M-A. I'm going to figure out a way to put PowerPoint slides on here at some point, but it hasn't happened yet. A schema is a framework of knowledge for something. So it's just, you know, you can have a schema about anything. Like right now, I have a large schema in cognitive psychology. You have a smaller one, but it's getting bigger. You may have a large schema for chess or badminton or going on a first date or whatever it is. But a schema means your knowledge. And schemas are going to come up many times throughout this class. So I think we're going to talk about them in class when we meet. We'll definitely bring them up. So it's important to know what they are. Well, if a type of processing is schema driven, that means you're bringing that knowledge and that framework of information that you have about a topic into your perception. So when you use top-down processing, you're bringing your prior knowledge and your prior information into it. And an example for this would be something that humans like to do a lot is, you know, we'll look at things and we'll see faces in places like the grilled cheese sandwich that had the Virgin Mary in it. Based on our expectations, we might see something somewhere that we wouldn't otherwise see. Okay, so that's top-down processing. And I'm going to stop the video here. I just wanted to give you a kind of a flavor for what bottom-up and top-down processing are. And anytime you use all the data that's available, but you don't bring in your prior expectations, that's bottom-up processing. And when you bring in your prior expectations and your knowledge, that's top-down processing. So you may ask the question, just really quick before I end this, well, what are we using? And that is both of them. We're using both of those things at any given time, okay? And depending on the situation, you could be using bottom-up processing or top-down. Like an example of bottom-up processing might be for the counseling students, when you start practicum, you may have no idea, you don't have a schema for what you're about to do. You may not understand what the symptoms you see might be, or um, you have to kind of make sense of all of these little intricate details. But people who have been practicing for a long time, they have the schema and they can sit down with the client and they can kind of know right away what they're dealing with. So, okay, that's it.